Okay, good morning. It's March 26th and a beautiful day for putting my strawberry plants in.
Yay!
Yay! I already put 5 in.
She couldn't wait.
Wait.
She couldn't wait. She got started without the video.
What I did was I dug holes. I put some goodies down in the bottom, some of the Pro Mix and a little bit of compost. Mixed it up. I don't want to make it too, rich. So I'm just going to, and this down here, well, point down there.
Point down there.
These are strawberry plants from Walmart that we nurtured, and they look like they need to, because they're starting to get a little bound, they need to go in the ground. So
we started those from...
We started them from crayons. I can't remember when we started them. They were under the grow lights all this time.
It's about 3 weeks ago at least.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. So we started them indoors. Now the weather's, what's it been like, the highs and your lows? I've been away.
Well, it was really raw yesterday. It was in the 40s and pouring rain all day, which was really good because now today all my fruit trees are all popping. The buds are all starting to grow and acclimate themselves to our soil.
Awesome. But it's cold, not that cold for strawberries right now?
I have I have netting, which is actually old sheer curtains, just a tip. I've been using them for decades.
And we're looking for more.
And we're looking for more. If you find old white sheer curtains, and if you can sew, you just sew them together in whatever shape you need. And I have hoops made out of, I prefer this stuff called PEX that is in the plumbing supply in Lowe's. Lots of hardware stores sell it. And you just cut sections and they're beautiful. You get a round, an actual whole bundle of it. It's round. And it's hard enough to straighten. I don't know how plumbers straighten them. But I cut sections and I just shove them in the ground wherever I want them. And I'm pretty sure the cloth, the netting here, I guess it's made of nylon or fiberglass. I think it'll protect the plants from the birds, for starters, and also from frost. Now, when they start to flower, I'm going to have to change it to bird netting.
Okay.
To keep the birds out, but
cool.
Let the bees in. So, first, I'm going to get myself down here and free this plant. I'll chop it about halfway between the two. Hopefully it was smart and sent the roots straight down. So I can see the roots. They're little tiny white roots. Probably left a few in the pot. I'm just loosening it because I'm gonna want that soil. Looks like it's gonna need a little bit more. This is a shorter plant. And you don't want to plant it too deep because you'll smother the crown, which is this clump of dead twigs and live plant that is this whole little spot that all the leaves come out of. So, nope, more. Okay.
Planting it right in the shade. Great for the picture.
Oh, sorry. That looks about right. So, fill it in a little bit and then start patting it down here and there. This soil, like I said, the backfill too has a little bit of compost and some Pro Mix in it. That was a little still too deep. There, that's better. Eventually, I'll put a layer of straw to mulch the whole thing. That'll keep the leaves up above the soil and keep the slugs out. We do have slugs here. Some of them are monsters. And you don't want them eating your strawberries. it'll be a constant battle. That's all. Every day I'll be out here grabbing slugs. So, let's see. And after this, I'll just water it in. So.
That looked like way too much hard work.
Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. Not hard work. I like to play in the dirt.
I like doing the hard work. I like pulling the strawberry off the stem and eating it.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'll tell you, when you go out to a strawberry field and you pick a strawberry and you eat one, like if you were to pick your own place and you're supposed to pay by the pound, you eat more than you than you weigh. They're so good out in the field, even warm.
Yes, they are.
They're delicious. Look, I forgot what kind we even got here.
I can't remember either.
She can't remember either.
We put some other plants in pots like this, and they never came up.
And died.
It was very aggravating.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this clump.
Well, that's what we go through sometimes. Doesn't always work out.
It's going to be beautiful today. And I've already transplanted some lettuce starts, and now I got to put some slug bait around my cabbage plants. The slugs are tasting them just a little bit, even though they're growing in with the garlic, which is supposed to help keep the slugs away. But I guess the slugs are hungry in the spring.
Well, that's two.
That's two.
We're bringing the tomatoes outside today too, aren't we?
Yeah, the tomatoes aren't going in the ground, they're going in the greenhouse.
The little house building I built. I checked this morning at like 8:30 and it was 98 degrees in that little house. 98. I was like at 8:30. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I over insulated it. That's without the heater being in it.
Well, the trick will be keeping the heat in the building overnight, not making it warm in the day. Because we have sun to do that. This one's really dry.
Teresa said she's going to put a rod or something in the plastic so we could use it like a curtain to go up and down. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That's why we're a good team. I do all the heavy stuff.
Yes.
And then she comes along and finishes it up.
Yes. I still have to pull that grass out of the bed over there. That's a job.
Yeah, well.
One more.
I see you got the soaker hoses in while I was away.
Yeah, they're kind of long.
Yeah.
50 feet each.
Yeah, well.
So, but we have...
You better grow something else, lady.
watermelons, cantaloupe, honeydew, maybe butternut squash, because all of them can come out from where I planted them, and I'll direct them in onto the wood chips, and they'll stay nice and dry. They won't get mold, and I'll set the fruits on, I don't know, a brick or maybe just on the wood chips. They're doing a very nice job. The only thing they haven't been able to keep out is the onion grass.
Well, we got one more to plant. We're not planting honeydews yet because I didn't find any seeds. Did you find any seeds for me?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. And then watermelons. We've grown watermelons before. We've done okay with them. And we actually put them like under wood chips like we have here on the ground, right next to our pool. And the swimming pool acted like a thermal heat sink for it as we went into the fall season, so they kept growing.
Yeah.
But here, they'll be right out in the sun here, so we'll see how they do. Cantaloupes we've grown before, and that was in New Jersey, and they're more like muskmelons, I think. But it's hard to get cantaloupes to the right sweetness, I guess, before you pick them. So, but the ones we buy at the supermarket, they're no good anymore. They pick them too green.
You're supposed to pick a cantaloupe until it slips the stem,
Yeah.
which means for the really good cantaloupes, the stem pops off easily. You just kind of flick it and it pops off. And then after 2 days, it's ripe. But the supermarkets, they buy cantaloupes now that are cut before they're ripe, and they might be sweet when you eat them, but they're never juicy.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I want real ones.
I love cantaloupes too. They're delicious.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm waiting for a first good watermelon in the year from Georgia or whatever. I love them too. So that's the strawberries. She's got, I don't know, about 10 of them in the ground here. And she's arranging the soaker hoses, and like she said, she'll put some straw. Why don't we press pause and then go show them the other job you were doing while I was away with your fence?
Okay.
I'm going to press pause. We're going to go over and show you what Teresa worked on while I was taking. Good morning. It's Charlie and Teresa again. Beautiful day. Teresa's going to show you what she was working on while I was on a business trip.
Okay, this is my smaller vegetable garden. We very quickly put up bird netting around the garden last year just to discourage the deer from going in and investigating. It seemed to work, but we see deer here on a regular basis. Sooner or later, they're going to see something nice and juicy they want. So this year, I'm taking down the netting and replacing it with a heavier duty netting that's actually deer fence.
Sorry guys, the sun's in the wrong direction. I'll show you a close-up of that as we get around to the gate area.
The bird netting, show them the pile at your feet.
Show them the pile.
That's what we had up, and it's full of holes, and it's going to be useful to keep the birds off the strawberries and maybe off the fruit trees.
Yeah, it did its job for the first year. I'm
Yeah.
really happy with what it protected everything for us. Good.
But since my husband cut down the pear tree, which was a flowering pear, we salvaged a whole bunch of straight limbs. Pears do have nice straight limbs. So I cut some 9 feet for his potato patch.
Sorry, the guy next door is we got to blow weed.
Yeah. And I cut
Have a leaf
some
blower.
7 feet for my vegetable garden, so I can have a 6-foot net. That these posts are a foot in the ground. I do have some metal just to.
And she did all this while I was away. She did half of it.
Yeah.
So this is the big roll it comes on, and you can kind of see it here. This is thicker, much thicker. So she dug a hole. She's got a little attachment to her drill, which we don't have out here, and it goes down what, like 12 inches?
It's about 16 inches.
Yeah,
It was a drill auger kit, so I had 3-inch, 2-inch, and 1-inch bits. So I used the 2-inch and just kind of sent it down a foot and put the branch in, and works pretty well. And the zip ties. It's a little wobbly, but that's why I left some of the metal ones in to give it some stability. I mean, if a deer really wants to throw himself against the fence, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not sure it would stand up against them, but they don't like to jump into an area, so I've been told, where they see obstacles. So.
All right, so we'll go around and we're going to show you how we did the gate.
All right.
All right, so we're over at the potato patch, and this is what Teresa did while I was away.
Right. This is 7-foot fence, which we recently put up. I made 9-foot posts and dug them in the ground 2 feet, and that way they support their height better. This is the gate because we need something to keep the deer out, and especially if we grow sweet potatoes here.
So slide it over so I can see the post.
I wrapped the bulk of it, what was left over, because we don't want to cut it and waste it, around a piece of conduit that we actually found here when we bought the house. So this is a 7-foot piece of conduit, and I crumbled it up and zip tied it, and embedded a piece of pipe in the ground so it can open just like that. And then when I want to close it up.
So this is the fast and easy gate compared to the other ones we built.
Yeah. It's top. You have to make sure the bottom goes down. It sits over top of the piece of pipe, right here.
So,
Just slide
great.
down. And it's locked. That's it.
And that's it. The potatoes are in the ground, but they didn't come up yet, guys. So we'll have to show you when they start coming up. Not the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes go in later. So just the white potatoes are in the ground. Anyhow, Teresa did a great job, didn't she? All right, thanks for joining us. It's Charlie and Teresa Garden for Two. This is documenting how we put our garden together here in Delaware. And this is still our first year of gardening here. So everything you see was done in 1 year. And it's just Teresa and I, no other helpers. All right, till next time. Thanks, guys.